Hello, my name is Jesper Carstensen of Dimension Software, and today I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the new Dimension Datamapper. The Dimension Datamapper is a TaskCentre tool. What it does is it's able to do transformations on TaskCentre record sets. So we can have a TaskCentre record set at the incoming into the tool, and we can have another TaskCentre record set coming out of the tool, and we can do all sorts of transformations between those two record sets. The Datamapper is a visual tool, so you don't have to do any programming. You just drag and drop whatever you need. And in order to demonstrate that, we are now here inside a TaskCentre task, and I have a flat file import tool which creates a record set for me. And that record set consists of 4 columns: item code, item name, item group, and code bar. And I'm going to use that record set as the input record set for my Datamapper, and I'm going to do some transformations and create an outgoing record set based on that. So we change to Tools, and we find the Dimension Datamapper and drag that in. I'll just resize it a little bit to make it fit the screen here. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to read the data set or the record set from the previous tool, and then I'm going to switch into the Datamapper. So this is the drawing canvas where we can drag and drop our tools, our building blocks to build this transformation that we're going to use. First thing we're going to need is the incoming record set, and I've got that as a building block here. And before we do anything else, we just want to look at this building block. You can see it's got these output connectors, these triangles on the right side. Those are output connectors. And if I hover the mouse over it, you can see this. You can see the data types, and so it's all of this is typed. So we will not be able to assign wrong types to things. So that's taking care of that. And there is a little help button here. You can click that and get a little bit of help. So that was the incoming record set, and that corresponds directly to the record set I've selected down here. Likewise, we are going to need an output record set. And as you can see, that comes up with no columns because at the present the tool doesn't know which columns we're going to need. To define that, I double-click, and then I can set up my columns here. First thing is going to be the item code. That is going to be a string. We're going to have the item name. Also a string. We're going to have the item group, also a string, and we're going to have the code bar, also a string. Okay. So you can see now we have got these the columns of the outgoing record sets, and as you can see here we have these incoming connectors, which are connectors on the left side of this building block, and some of this data is just going to be transferred directly from the incoming to the outgoing record sets. This is going to be the item code, the item name, and for now the item group. I'll come back in a later video. I'll do something with the item group, but for now we'll just transfer that across. On the code bar, we know that some of the code bar in the incoming record sets are 13 characters long, and we know that some of them are 14 characters long. We're going to play that in this scenario that we're going to need them all to be 14 characters long, and those that are only 13 characters long need to be preceded with a 0. And that's just a transformation that we're going to do today now. So all the code bars that are less than 13 characters long need to be preceded by a 0. The first thing we need, of course, is we need to find the length of the string at code bar. So what we do there is we go into string and find the string length. So this is one of the tools we can use. And we take the output. This is the code bar string, and we drag that in as the incoming here on the length. And then on the outgoing we have the length of the string, and as you can see, it's a decimal. I'm just going to drag this down here because I'm going to need a little more space. I can adjust this. There you go. Okay, so this is now the length of the string, and we're going to compare that to 14. So first we'll do is we'll have a comparison, this one, and say smaller than. So we are going to drag this over here, and we are going to take the outcome of the length. So this is the length, and we are going to drag that in here. So we are comparing that the length is smaller than something else, smaller than 14, and we need a constant, a numeric constant, to do that. So we'll take a constant, and I'll just double-click it, and then I can enter the value of the constant. So it's going to be 14. Drag that up here. Okay, so now we have an output here, which is the Boolean, so it's true or false. And it's going to be true if this length is smaller than 14. Then we're going to have a true. Now what we need is a conditional thing. We need an if then else. What that does is it takes a Boolean here. So this is going to be our condition. So we drag our condition in here. And then if that condition is true, if that condition is true, the result is going to be the input on the true connector, and if it's false, the result is going to be the input at the false connector. So we say if this length is smaller than 14, then we need to concatenate something. If it's not, then we just need the code bar, so we'll just drag the code bar down here. I'll just adjust this link a little bit because that was not the way I would have done it, like this. And then for the true, so if this is smaller than 14, we need to concatenate the string with a 0. So we'll have the string concatenate. The first thing on this is going to be a 0. There we go. The first is going to be a 0. So we just, instead of, I could have chosen, here we go. I could have chosen to take a string constant, but I can also just click this and say, okay, I want this to be constant 0. String 0. As you can see now, when I put a constant value in here, this is got marked with blue because it's a constant now, and the input connector disappeared, so I cannot connect anything to that input any longer. So this is going to be 0, and that should be followed by the code bar. So I'm going to drag the code bar down here again. So now I have 0 concatenated with the code bar, and I'm going to drag that up. For the true value, so this is going to be the value to use if this is true. So if the length is smaller than 14, then this is true, and then it's going to take this value. And I'm going to drag the result up onto the code bars. So that's the way to do a conversion like this without any programming, just drag and drop, very easy, very, very handy. Okay, that concludes the demo for today. Not quite, because I'm going to wrap up this, and then we can run we can run the conversion. We can run the task and have the conversion done. That was what I was going to show today. Come back for a later video where I'm going to show you some of the other building blocks in the data mapper. Thank you for watching.